All right. So we've said a whole lot about financial intelligence. We've said a whole lot about developing investment mindset. All right. Because that's where it starts. That's where it all starts. Is your mind. As a man thinks, that's who you are. All right. So you need to change your mindset and have that mindset that accommodate money and wants to be financially free. Okay. So we've talked about a lot of things. What people do with money, guidelines for wise spending, and we talked about factors that shapes one's mentality. Talked about your background. That was last week. Talked about your background, environment, exposure, association. In fact, I said it that in the next 5 years, where you would be, how far you would have gone in life, will be determinant on two factors. That's the kind of books you read and the kind of friends you keep. All right, the books you read and your association, very very important. Yeah, so it's important to keep that in mind. All right, and start working on it. Of course, vision is important. You need to once in a while visualize where you want to be. Think about it, dream about it. Instead of worrying, dream. Learn to dream. Okay, and it's important you know that your value, your value changes as your mentality changes. What do I mean? There's a story about an auction. If you ever attended an auction, the story is quite captivating. And an auction once took a new dimension some times ago due to a strange episode that happened. Many people gathered in a big hall for a special auction when the auctioneer picked up a dirty, rickety looking violin as the first item to be auctioned. He started his offer from $100. But instead of bidding with higher price, people started pricing it down. $80, shouted someone. Then 60, shouted another, and then 20. And it went on. The drama continued until an elderly man in the crowd stood up and walked towards the stage where the violin was at, $20 level. He collected the violin from the auctioneer, dusted it, adjusted it, tuned it, and played a little. Adjusted, tuned again. Few minutes later, he began to play on the violin. As the sound filled the hall, everybody was amazed at the potential in the violin. When he was through, he dropped the violin and went back to his seat without saying a word. Now, when the auctioneer picked the violin, he started afresh from $1,000. That same day, the violin ended up being sold for over $10,000. Now, what made the difference? What made the difference between being sold for nothing and being sold for over $1,000? What made that difference? It's simple. What made the difference was the touch and walk of the elderly man that changed and revealed its potential for all to see. That was what made the difference. Oh yeah. So it's important that many of us are like the violin with mentalities that cheapen us and keep us undervalued and devalued. But when we allow mentality shift, our value will change. When you allow mentality shift, your value will change. So part of what we're doing here is to bring about that mentality shift, cause that change to happen in your mind. Remember, this is where it all starts and ends. It's the battle of the mind. Once you can win it up here, you're good to go. Everything just lines up. Everything just aligns, with you and, whatever you now want to achieve or do. Okay, so be conscious of your mind. And as I always say, please mind what your mind is minding. Now, uh, to create wealth and become financially free, you need financial education. Academic and professional education alone cannot do the job. Otherwise, you'll stay trapped in the civil service or the rat race. Now, no financial education, no financial independence. No financial education, no financial independence. It's very simple. Period. I mean, that is the way it is. So, financial education is the development of financial intelligence. It is the understanding of money and the inner workings of it. It is understanding the principles, strategies, and laws of wealth creation, entrepreneurship, and financial freedom. It is quite unfortunate that our schools and educational institutions don't teach financial education. So one has to get it by personal development through books, attending seminars, listening to tapes, the University of YouTube. All right, so moving into what we want to share today. 5 people who don't need financial education. Let's see if you fall into that category. 5 people who don't need financial education. All right. Now, the number one group is the inheritance group. If your parents are billionaires or you came from an elite family where you have inherited a huge estate and wealth, and you have people who are paid to help you manage them, then you may settle for a life of financial ignorance and just keep eating of the labor of others. If that is your choice, it's your life. But I hope you aim for more than a life of mediocrity. Oh yeah. That's about the inheritance group. The second group is the marriage group. If you are married for money or married into money, and your spouse or his or her family is loaded enough to take care of your needs, wants, and luxuries, and you are okay with just being a parasite and a consumer without bringing anything to the table, then settling for financial ignorance is definitely an option in your package. If you so desire, go ahead, it's your life. All right? I only wish you don't fall into this category or stay in this group without changing. A lot of people are there right now. They are looking for guys and babes that are loaded, and they just want to you know. All right, number 3 group is the genius group. The genius group. If you're born a genius with extraordinary talent and ability, that you have even started making money from childhood and you pay others to manage your finances for you, then you fall into the category of people that may settle for financial ignorance. People cheating or defrauding you won't also matter, since you believe you don't need financial education. All right, number 4 is the pension group. If you plan to work for the government and be a civil servant for life, or you are okay with the rat race and the golden handcuff, you want to work, work your entire life and retire to live on pension, then you qualify to be in this group of people who can settle for financial ignorance. What financial education do you need to collect and consume salary and pension? Not much, I believe. So sad if you settle for it. There are plenty of people in this category. And number 5 category is the carefree group. I know send. What was this guy talking about? I beg, change that channel. The carefree group. If you don't really care whether you are rich or poor, and creating wealth or financial freedom does not matter to you, then of course you can settle for financial ignorance. I don't think you need any intelligence to become poor. You don't. or to stay poor. You don't need any special intelligence. If you choose poverty, who am I to question your choice? But I hope your children, for your children's sake, that you don't settle for this level of life. Someone said that it is the bottom that is overcrowded. Up there, there's always space, and then the view up there is beautiful. Like when you are in the penthouse, uh, the view is lovely. But when you are somewhere around Obalindi, Okuku, Ajangbadi, you can even hear the names. They are scary. Okuku, Ajangbadi. When you're in those places, oh my God, the crowd. It's not a lovely place to be. The bottom. I'm not saying those places. I'm just saying the bottom. All right. The bottom is not a lovely place to be. Up there is where you belong. So you need to begin to train your mind to be in that place. Be in that place. And definitely, I know things will turn around. Right? So, try. Join the WhatsApp training on FBI, and it'll be worth your while. Don't stray. I'll meet you at the other side.